So, hello guys, and welcome back to Destiny 2. We're doing the second episode of my recording project for Cass today. And I'm gonna be giving you guys some helpful tips while showing you what other sort of activities the game has to offer. We're going to be playing a little sort of mini dungeon called the Menagerie, and we're going to be going for specific rewards that we want. So we want another one of this type of shotgun called the Parcel of Stardust, and we may go for another one of this type of if it would load, pistol called the Waking Vigil. And I'll be going with a pistol, a shotgun, and a grenade launcher for a lot of damage on bosses. And I will warn you guys again, there may be some swearing, more than the last time recorded, because this activity will be a lot harder, but I'll try to tone it down. I'll also provide some helpful tips along the way, so hopefully I can teach you guys and raise your interest on Destiny 2. So the first little encounter here is always the same. As you can see up here, it says the Menagerie lamp lighting. You're going to have to kill a few bosses, and they will drop these sort of orbs that you can, not those ones on the ground, obviously, those are the light orbs from last video, the ones that give you your super move. They will drop orbs that you can then use to light these lamps, and you have to light all of them, and then you can continue. The rest of the activities in this kind of dungeon are randomized, so you'll get a set few ones that are picked out at random, basically. And the first one is the crystals, for which we have to go over here. So basically what we will be doing is we'll just be kind of grinding maybe 2 or so runs of this, as they take a little bit, but I wanted to show you what else other than story Destiny 2 has to offer. So this is actually one of the most welcomed activities in Destiny 2. It's very popular. Fair few people enjoy it, fair few people play it, so this is probably the best one we can do. Alternatively, I could have played PvP with you guys, but I don't feel like raging, so we won't do that. Now, the first little tip that I want to give you guys here is, if you're playing the same class as me, Warlock, you will want to support your team as much as possible. Since you'll be with 6 other people, as you can see there's 3 down there, 1 more over here, and there, including me, that's 6. So you'll have plenty of damage. You just have to try to support your team as much as possible by, yes, also dealing damage, but going with a specific ult, which is on the fire kind of class in the middle, called Well of Radiance, or the attunement of, I forgot the name, so who cares. It'll basically put down a big version of your small healing circle. Oh, I died. That's alright. It'll put down a big version of your small healing circle that will give your team a damage buff and heal them by a lot. And it's great for killing bosses quickly and great for keeping people alive. So you'll be mainly doing that. Now, in this encounter here in the crystals, it's important to pick up these little things that some enemies drop, and to shoot crystals with them, those little purple ones that were in the wall a second ago. You can also use them to do a little bit of damage to the boss, like I'm doing. and you can use your other weapons to obviously kill that boss then. And in the menagerie, the activity, you're basically trying to... See, this is one of those crystals. You're basically trying to get as many points per activity as possible. And once you do that, you'll move on to the next activity. Or once the little timer that's next to the crystals there runs out. So let's just focus on killing some things here. And the rest of my team will clean up those crystals. Also get a few maybe. Put those up there. So this is one of the... I don't want to say harder, because once you've got all the mechanics down, it's a fairly easy encounter. But this is one of the encounters you can do. So now we'll get another little boss that spawns in the center here. And you can see that I just used my Well of Radiance there to get my team to do a lot more damage. And we've just killed him, so now we're done with that activity. Another useful tip, if you want specific loot, like I'm going for this shotgun here, for example, or this hand cannon or pistol here, you can customize a thing in your quests tab up here called the Chalice of Opulence. You can basically put different sort of runes, which are these things, in there, and when you put a specific combination like this one, you have a higher chance or a guaranteed chance to get a shotgun like this. So now the next encounter here, which is what they are called in Destiny 2, I'll get teleported to my allies, is the Arcborn, which will require us to pick up 3 sort of little pillars of light here that are on the ground and carry them to an altar while enemies are attempting to obviously do their thing as enemies and kill us. And this time it's the hive, as we can see, but none of the activities themselves are that hard. It's just a little challenging to get everything done as fast as possible. So we're gonna kill this ogre here, and we can see once there's a lot more people, it gets very, very messy. So there'll be a whole bunch of stuff flying all around, and people will be doing damage everywhere, and it becomes pretty crazy. It's not as crazy as when you are raiding, which is that's participating in the hardest activities of the game, and you need a set fire team to do that. But it can still get pretty messy, as you just saw there when we were killing that boss. So let me just collect the rest of these souls here. So I have max. You can carry a max of 3 little pillars of light or souls, and once you've put them into the altars, the bosses will spawn then. So let's deal with the rest of these guys here. Help out our team a little bit. Oh, and there's little traps on the ground that you can get stuck into as well, these ones. So now there's more bosses, and we can help the team kill those guys real quick. Just kill this fucker over here. There's my grenade launcher on him. Ah! Yeah, they do a lot of damage as well, these wizards. And now this should be the final one, where we have to pick up our souls and put them in. And gotta deal with this big guy over here. So let me go searching around for more souls to pick up. Here's another one, and this one up there. Oh, my teammate picked that one up. That's fine. Ah. I'll just put the 2 that I have in this one. And you can obviously revive your allies by getting close to their ghosts, their little power sources, and just kind of holding E on them, because guardians are immortal. So now we should hopefully be able to get the final one done here, maybe? Oh no, I don't think we are. Yeah, we're gonna run out of time, but it's fine. We got a lot of points. Pick up some ammo. Very awesome. Next is the encounter called the Riposte. And this one is kind of sort of annoying. I've obviously done the menagerie a ton of times to farm for a lot of loot, but this one is a little annoying because there is a lot of enemies that do very, very high amounts of damage, so you'll have to be effective at killing them. But I feel like we should be able to get enough points to work with it here. Up. This thing that I just placed is a rally banner or raid banner. You can put it down to give ammunition, super energy, so the little super bar that can be charged by that, and all sorts of benefits to your team. And we've accidentally placed 2 that are gone now, somehow. Which is not ideal, but it doesn't matter. They don't cost a lot, and you can get them fairly easily. Our team's kind of struggling a little bit here, so I'm going to try to revive my ally. As you can see, there's a lot of enemies that swarm you at once, so they do a lot of damage, and it gets a pretty messy and pretty difficult, at least in this one. Now what you have to do is you basically have to kill these, the one guy that you just saw there. These guys with the swords, they will drop their sword, and with that you can kill these guys with the guns, and they give you points. Another tip in this encounter specifically, when you are using the sword, you can press your left mouse button twice, and then your right mouse button once to do a little bit more damage. But now that we've completed that activity, we can move on to the next one here. And since we fully filled that bar, and it's now gone, we're basically moving on to the boss. So let me just put down another banner here. He also put down one. And after this, we're done. So this is the boss, Arunak, beloved by Callus. We'll basically have to, you see he has a shield and we can't damage him when he's in that shield. It says immune. So, but what we'll have to do is we'll have to kill these little, explodey guys, kind of thingies, at the side, and we have to pick up the things they drop and throw it at the shield to destroy it. So now his shield is destroyed and we can do a lot of damage. So I can put down my, Well of Radiance there, and we can just hopefully do enough damage to kill him in one little phase here. So let me just go shotgun him a little bit, because my shotgun does a lot of damage. Now I don't think we're gonna quite kill him yet, nope, but he's very low. So now you see he has his shield again, so we're gonna have to do what we just did again and kill the little guys, pick up their things, and throw them at him. So you see that gets his shield lower, and we can, in the meantime, just kind of kill some of these guys. Help our team a little bit more. Now I should have my super up here as well. Yep, so I can put that down and help my team more. Now I unfortunately don't have a weapon that will do a lot of damage to him other than my shotgun, so because I'm out of ammo for my grenade launcher, so I'll have to kind of just do that. And he's dead, so now we get our rewards. So we can hold E on this chest and pick up our parcel of Stardust. As I said, you can get this if you put the specific runes in the chalice. And you see my friend there is doing a little dance, and so is this guy, so I'll just also do a little dance while I check out if this shotgun is good. So this is another important thing to do. Every time you sort of get some loot that you want, you should always check whether or not it has the weapon perks that we talked about last time that you actually want, and this one seems to have fairly bad weapon perks, so it won't go to waste, because what I can do with other weapons that are lower power, you see this is 750 power, I can sort of infuse this one, which is higher power. This one is obviously 958 power. I can infuse this one into this and therefore power this one up. So I can infuse the shotgun we just got by holding F and using some materials. And now this is 958 power as opposed to 750. So it won't go completely to waste. But if it's not the exact thing you want, you can still use it, and yeah. So let's just quickly destroy some of this absolute garbage that we got during the run that we don't need at all, and we can return to orbit. Now that run was fairly quick, which isn't usually the case. Usually you struggle a little bit and the encounters take a little bit longer, or the activities take a little bit longer, but the team was working really well there, so we got there in the end. So now this is where we can customize our chalice again and put in the different things to get specific rewards. So if I wanted that one hand cannon, this one, the Waking Vigil, if I wanted this again, I can go into the chalice and put in this rune, because it says weapons rolled with this rune active are guaranteed to be hand cannons, and then I can put in another green green rune here, either this one or this one, and then a last one to customize it so that it would give me the Waking Vigil hand cannon. So for example, the last one, this one, the third slot, doesn't really matter which one you put in, but I want the maximum amount of range. As you can see here, weapons rolled with this rune active are guaranteed to have masterwork range, so I put this one in to get all the range that I can on the gun, because range is quite important in Destiny 2. But since that shotgun wasn't great, I say we go for another one, so we will have to put in this blue rune, the Rune of Wealth, which guarantees weapons to be shotguns. Any red rune, so let's just go with this one, doesn't matter. And then a rune that will give us more range. So this is the combination that we're going with to get another one of those shotguns. So let's just load up another run here. You can find this activity on the planetoid Nessus, and it'll be down here where you can also go into a few raids, like the Leviathan raid, Leviathan Eater of Worlds, Leviathan Spire of Stars, and the Crown of Sorrow raid. But we're going to the Menagerie, and we're going to do it on the normal difficulty. You can also do it on a heroic difficulty, which gives more rewards, but is a little harder, so we'll just do it on the normal one for now. And we'll start searching for a fire team to do this with here. So this will give us a brief moment of relaxation between activities, and yeah. So you can see down here it says evaluating guardians. That basically means we're just trying to find a team. And one more tip that I have, if you decide to play Destiny 2 and this activity, or any activity really, is you can always check over here on the left side these little icons are things that will be active when you're doing the activity. So, for one, arc singe is active, which means that arc damage or lightning damage from all sources is increased. Blackout is active, which means that enemy melee attacks, so when they go up to you and kind of give you a little smack on the ass, are going to be more powerful, and your radar is disabled, so you don't have the little radar that shows enemies up there. And Grenadier is active, which means that grenades deal a lot more damage and recharge very quickly. So that is something to always kind of keep an eye on as well. So you can see here that we're evaluating Guardians. We've now found 4 other teammates, and we're waiting for one last person to join to do this activity with. And hopefully it'll be as quick as the last run, but that is never guaranteed, obviously. And of course this is not the only activity you can do. There is a whole bunch of other things that you can do, like smaller dungeons that aren't as difficult as this one, or other player versus entity or PvP activities. So anything where you kill the enemies in the world, or you try to fight against other players. There's all sorts of competitive modes and kind of mini tournaments that you can play, but the Menagerie is a fairly popular one, so we can just kind of do this one for a bit. So now we wait for everybody to kind of load into the game here. And, excuse me, go away, don't bully me. We'll always have a team of 6 players, as I mentioned before, but at the beginning we gotta wait for everyone to load in, so now there's 5 people, we're waiting for one last one. There we go. So I can put down a banner here and help my team out a little more, and we basically go to this little head and interact with it to start the activity. And as you can see, it's the same one as before. It's the lamp lighting. This one is guaranteed to happen at the beginning of every run. Although sometimes the enemies are different. Now these enemies are new race that I don't think I have shown you guys. They are called the Vex. Yeah, they're basically just robots. That's their whole thing. They are introduced halfway kind of through the story, and they were the main enemies in the first Destiny, but now they are not as important anymore. So let's just kill some more enemies. Another thing that I want to show you guys is this shotgun. This is a rare shotgun that you have to do a quest for, but it has very, very good perks, like 1-2 punch, which means you basically do more damage with your melee attacks, and overflow, which reloads the weapon beyond its normal capabilities. So normally it would have 5 shots, but it can be reloaded up to 10 times. So you see I have 10 bullets in my magazine right now. And it's a really, really good shotgun for any activity, but mainly also the Menagerie. So that is a good setup I like to use. This pistol I have in my hand right now is also a rarer one. It's called The Last Word, and it is of exotic quality, meaning I can only have one of them, like one of this quality, the golden, equipped at any time. But it does basically more damage when you are firing from the hip like this, and has like better accuracy. It's really good for PvP, but I like using it in PvE as well. And lastly, we have a grenade launcher. These are mainly used for doing a lot of damage in the Menagerie and in other activities. And the best perk you can have is spike grenades, which basically just means that if they hit a target directly, they will do a lot more damage, obviously. So that is good for when you're fighting the bosses in the menagerie and when you're doing this activity. So let me just kill this guy and put in my soul. So we got the Arcborn again, but this time it's in a different order, it seems. And now there's the boss here that we can kill. So if I hit all my shots, I do more damage with my melee, which is why this thing is really good. You see we're killing the boss very easily here. And he's dead. Very nice. Kill these little guys, maybe grenade them a little bit. And continue doing what we were doing before. So for this activity, you should be fairly high powered, because otherwise it's more difficult, obviously. But the recommended power that you should be around is 750, around there. The higher the power you are, obviously, the easier kind of it will be for you. So we've done another one, and I can put down my Well of Radiance here and help my team do more damage against these bosses. So there goes one of them, and the other one's over here. And they're dead. Very nice. Do the rest of these smaller enemies. Up, got stuck in a trap. And just quickly fuck this guy up. Nice. So, as I said, there will be a little bit of swearing, but I'm toning it down as much as I can, so it's not as bad. Let me just... Oh, this guy dropped something. Very awesome. Ooh, there was one of the exploding guys there. So I have max souls. Let me put them into this altar over here. And that should spawn another boss. Yep, there he is. Now I don't have my super for this guy, so I can't help my team do more damage, but I think we should be able to kill him anyway. So the big guy has been defeated. Now we have to just focus on killing the smaller ones. This guy over here. But I don't think we're gonna be able to get it in time. Ah, unfortunate. But it's fine. We still got way more than enough points. Alright, so this is a new activity here called the Gauntlet. And I'll explain that once we get to it. I think it's a little bit of a walk over to it. Yeah. This is one of the more fun activities. And there is, I think, one more which we haven't seen called The Hunted, maybe. We'll get that as our last activity. We shall see. So, yeah. As you can tell, also, if you're trying to really get this activity done fairly quickly, you will need a pretty good team, and you may want to, like, speak to them in some way or just communicate with them a lot, but it's not necessary. In raids, the hardest activities in the game, that is a necessity, so you'll have to do that. So we're waiting on this guy to start the encounter because he is behind and standing still. We could start it without him, it's fine. And we're going to be killing the Vex again. So let's just get rid of these guys real quick. And the boss spawned. We're gonna have to kill this boss, so let me put down my Well of Radiance and, again, support my team. So in case you're wondering why I'm always constantly pressing back and forth, it's to kind of negate the little flinching that the enemies do to you when you get hit by them. Now this is the main draw of the encounter. You're supposed to kill the boss, and then your entire team runs through this little gauntlet, through this little parkour course. And if you fall into that area, or if you don't make it into the, like if you fall into one of these holes, or you don't make it to the green circle in time, you see this little thing on my side that says keep moving, you will die and you won't be able to get points. So that guy just was a bit of an idiot and died, but I think most of us can still make it. And whenever someone makes it, you get 750 points, or 175 points, sorry. And we see that there's another boss here that we kill, and then we go into the next round of the gauntlet. There's these guys over here, which I need to kill real quick because they're pretty annoying right now. So he's pretty low. We can kill him here, probably. I'm gonna revive my teammate, and now he's dead. So we go back into the thing. Now we have a brief moment to just relax and get rid of some stuff here. So you see that there's now fire on the side, so the gauntlet also gets harder with every successful little run that you complete. If you touch the fire now, you also die. So you're gonna have to kind of avoid that as best as you can. But after a while you will get fairly good at it and should be able to do this no problem. However, a lot of my team seems to be dying right now. So now I've accidentally touched the flame and I've also died. So you see, even if you're experienced with some of these activities, there's still always some room to fuck up and die, sadly. But we still have a little time here left, so we should be able to do one more run, hopefully. I can do the thing with my shotgun, and we can kill this guy again. He's doing a lot of damage, though. And this is a perfect example of when the team doesn't manage to perfectly work together. People die, and then they are obviously not in the gauntlet where those guys are. So we'll just have to kind of try to deal with some of the enemies out here. Me and this other guy. There he is. And I'll help my teammate up. And as you can see, the shotgun is very effective at dealing with the smaller kind of enemies as well. Oh, he teleported. You're not allowed to do that. Let me help my teammate up here again. And now we'll need to complete one more activity, I believe. Because we were not... Yeah, there you see. Now we're gonna go into the Hunted, which is the activity we have not seen yet. And I'll explain as we go along. So in this activity, it's helpful to both have a high amount of healing and a high amount of damage. So again, the Well of Radiance super, which I have on, will be very helpful. Excuse me. So let's make our way over there. And you can see that obviously also my teammates are all playing different classes. Like King Size over here is a Titan, and Eco or Ryan Shez, what a name, are playing the Hunter class. And they have different abilities, different jumps, different grenades, different melees, all kinds of different stuff. So, here we go, into the hunted. Let me just reload my grenade launcher. Basically what we'll have to do is we'll have to capture these little platforms on the ground. They'll start glowing, and that means we can capture them while defending against enemies. And there will also be very, very big knights, very big guys with swords that spawn. And we're gonna have to kill them as fast as we can. Otherwise they'll just kind of walk over the platform, slam their sword on it, and we'll all die in one hit. And that's obviously not ideal. We want to avoid that. And there's a whole bunch of other enemies. So done the first one, and now there's one that's up here in the center. So I'm gonna put down my Well of Radiance, because that'll negate some of the damage that these exploding guys do, the ones with the glowing heads. Because if you don't deal with those guys quickly, they actually... So there you see there's one of those knights. Now we're gonna have to focus on killing him, because otherwise we're gonna get kind of destroyed. And he's coming fairly close to the platform here, but he died, so it's fine. And they also give you some points. Now we have to look for the next platform, which is over here. Also, I apologize if the recording is lagging a little bit, but that's because there's a lot going on and I can't really fix that. Let me just check if there's... So there's a knight over there. I'll help my team deal with that guy a little bit, but I'll have to also deal with my own enemies, obviously. So now there's a big guy going for me. But it's fine because we filled the bar completely and we can go to the boss, who is over here. So yeah, you can see that there's a lot going on, and maybe it's lagging a little bit, but yeah. Here we are at the boss. It's the same guy as before, same kind of thing that we're gonna do, and I'll activate once everyone's there. Alright. And this boss changes every week, and I believe there's 2 or 3 more other bosses that you can get, so they kind of are on a rotation. And nobody's on this side, so I'll have to kill the guys on this side. There we go. Deal with some of these. So there we go. He is now without a shield, so I can put down my Well of Radiance, and I can again support my team in doing damage. I kinda did put that in a little bit of a stupid spot, because you're supposed to stand in it to get a big damage buff, but he's kind of slamming us out of it every time we stand in it, so not ideal, but we still did a fair bit of damage, as you can see. He is shooting me a lot. Let me just go over to this other side again. Reload my grenade launcher, which is already reloaded. So I'm stupid like that. Get some more orbs to throw out in here. Now I unfortunately don't have my well active yet, my Well of Radiance, but we can still do a lot of damage, hopefully. Grenade the guy as well. Ooh. And die to some enemies that are trying to melee us. So the enemies, if we remember, the little thing that was called Blackout was active, so enemies were doing a lot more damage when they do a melee, so that's kind of happening right now. So we're gonna have to watch out. Now there's very, very big knights as well, treasured knights. Those are going to cause a bit of trouble for us. Like that. And I'm the only one that's alive dealing with this treasure mine, so I'm gonna have to go over here and hopefully be able to revive some people. So now his shield's down again, and I might have my Well of Radiance up in time. If we get lucky. But I believe we might kill him before that, actually. Okay, I got it. So I can put it down and keep my team alive. But we've done it, so it's fine. And now we get our loot. So as you can see, it should drop another parcel of Stardust. Now, if you want to find out which of the runes you have to customize on your chalice, there's a load of websites that have all the different combinations you can put in to get specific weapons you want, and there's a lot of weapons you can get. So we can return back to orbit here and look at our loot. Just gonna trash this blue crap that I don't need, and we can see perfect. So this is basically the best sort of what we call a roll of this shotgun that you can get. A roll is just different perks that work really well together. So on shotguns, you always want to have this perk called Full Choke, because it reduces the projectile spread. And you always want this perk called Accurized Rounds, because it gives you a lot of range. So you can see that when I hover over this on the right side of my screen, the range bar increases if I put it on. And it has a ranged masterwork, so we'll be able to give it even more range. And we can customize it as well. We can put some nice little looking shaders and little skins on it, like this one. I'd like to go with this one. And yeah, so that is basically the best kind of version of that shotgun you can get. Now allow me to just quickly open a online website that lets me store some of the gear that I have here, because I have a lot of it and I really kind of don't need all of it. And actually I can get rid of this one even. Allow me just one moment. So I can get rid of that one, and I can get rid of... let's just go get rid of that one as well, because we don't need it right now. This one. Okay. So yeah, I've cleaned up a little bit, and now you can see I have more slots open to get new stuff. And yeah, this is basically a really good kind of shotgun now. You can use this for PvE and PvP both, so player versus entity and player versus player, as long as you have these two perks. And another thing you can do is put mods on it, so modifications that give you more ammo like this one, or that let you do more damage to certain enemies like this one, and all sorts of things. And you can masterwork it, which just means you're going to increase the power of a certain perk. Now, it will take some resources, but it's worth it. And then you get a fancy little kill tracker that shows how many enemies you've defeated. So, now that it has this little, it says masterwork complete, it has this little thingy and more range. And you can see that it has like golden stuff everywhere, and in the menu it also appears as golden. So you can masterwork all of your weapons. I should actually masterwork this one as well, but there's no need for that yet. So yeah, we can also use this for the activity now if we want to. I can show it off a little bit. And I'll go with... yeah, sure, why not? Let's go with this one. So yeah. And now that we have the basically best shotgun we can get from the menagerie, we will not have to grind for that anymore. We won't have to do the menagerie for that specific weapon. However, we can still get this weapon, because this already is a really good version of the weapon with these 2 perks, but there is a slightly better one you can get, so we can also work on getting that. So let me make sure that I just have the right little combination of runes for that in my chalice here. I'm gonna use a website to check because I'm just too lazy to remember it. And yes, I was right. So we will need this one, the Rune of Desire for guaranteed hand cannons, any green one, and 1 green one. So 3 green runes will give you this gun guaranteed. So let's start up another run, and that should be our final run. Actually, I'm already a little over the time that I have set myself, so unfortunately we're not going to be able to complete another run. But yeah, this video was just to kind of show you guys what other activities you can do. You can also do all sorts of raids, like where's another one? This is a raid, and you can do the ones that I showed you on Nessus. These ones, 1, 2, 3, 4 over here. And yeah, there's more raids all over the place. Like, I think over here there is another one there, Garden of Salvation. That's another raid, and that's the wrong place. Over here you have another one. So there's a whole bunch of activities you can complete in this game, and once you understand most of the stuff within, it's really fun, and you can really have a good time when you try out new weapons and try out different combinations of your classes and everything. But unfortunately, this is the last time that we will be visiting Destiny 2, and we'll have a new game up next week. And I'll think of something fun that we can play and that I can give you guys tips on. So yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed, hope you learned something, and I'll see you guys again next week. Bye.